Hi everyone, welcome to English Today Journey. And hey, don't forget to subscribe if you enjoy learning English in a simple and practical way.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to English Today Journey. Thank you so much for being here. If you like learning English and want to improve every day, please remember to subscribe. I share English tips daily to help you feel more confident and comfortable with the language. Hello, my English learners. I am very happy that you are listening today. Maybe you are walking outside. Maybe you are driving your car. Maybe you are cooking food in your kitchen. Or maybe you are just sitting and relaxing. No matter what you are doing, thank you for spending your time with me. It truly means a lot to me, and I am excited to help you on your English learning journey. Today, we're going to talk about a very common problem. Many English learners around the world have this problem. The problem is understanding native English speakers. Yes, I know this can be very difficult and sometimes very frustrating. Native English speakers often speak very fast. They do not always speak clearly or slowly. They use slang words. They use idioms. They also speak in a natural way that is very different from textbook English. Have you ever asked yourself, why can't I understand native English speakers? Or maybe you have thought, why is it so hard to follow their conversations? If you have asked these questions, you are not alone. Many English learners feel the same way. This feeling is very normal, and it is okay to feel this way. Learning a language is not easy, and everyone struggles at some point. But here is the good news. You can improve your listening skills. You can learn to understand native speakers better. And you do not have to do it alone. I am here to help you step by step. In this episode, we will break everything down into simple ideas. I will explain things clearly and slowly. I will also share useful and powerful tips. These tips will help you understand English more easily. They will help you feel more confident when you listen. They will help make listening feel less stressful and more enjoyable. So, let's begin. First, we need to understand why listening to native speakers is so hard. Why do so many English learners feel confused or lost when they hear native English? One big reason is speed. Native speakers speak very fast. They are not thinking about learners. They speak naturally, the way they speak every day. They also connect words together instead of saying each word clearly. For example, instead of saying, "What are you doing?" they may say, "What you doing?" This sounds very different and can be hard to understand. Native speakers also drop sounds. They say, "I'm gonna" instead of "I am going to." They say "dunno" instead of "I don't know." They use contractions and short forms all the time. This can confuse learners, especially if you learned English from books. Do not worry. This is normal. With practice and the right methods, you can learn to understand these patterns. And that is exactly what we will work on together. Native speakers also use contractions. They say, "I'm" instead of "I am," or "he's" instead of "he is." These are small changes, but when many of them happen together, listening becomes very hard. Let's look at a simple example. Imagine someone says, "I'm going to go to the store. Do you want to come?" In real life, it may sound like, "I'm going to go to the store, want to come?" Wow, that sounds very fast, right? It almost feels like all the words are mixed together. This can be confusing at first, but don't worry. With time and practice, your ears will slowly get used to this kind of speech. Now let's talk about something very important. Many learners think, "But I already know grammar. I know many English words." And yes, that is great. Grammar and vocabulary are very important parts of learning English. But they are not enough when it comes to listening. Spoken English is very different from written English. Native speakers do not speak the way English books teach. They speak real-life English. Real-life English is fast, relaxed, and full of shortcuts. In real conversations, people do not think about grammar rules. They want to speak quickly and naturally. Because of this, words change, sounds disappear, and sentences become shorter. To understand this kind of English, you need listening practice. You also need to learn how people actually talk in daily life, not just how English looks on paper. I want you to remember something important. You are not bad at English. You are not slow. You are not failing. You simply have not had enough practice with real spoken English. And that is okay. This problem is very common. Many learners around the world feel the same way. The good news is that you can improve, and you will improve with the right training. I am here to help you. In the next part of this episode, I will share simple and useful tips. These tips will train your ears little by little. They will help you feel more comfortable when listening to native speakers. They will make English sound clearer and easier over time. Are you ready? Let's continue this journey together. Now, let's talk more about why understanding native English speakers is difficult. One big reason is that native speakers do not always say words the way you learn them in class or in textbooks. For example, instead of saying going to, they often say gonna. Instead of want to, they say wanna. Instead of got to, they say gotta. If you have never heard these forms before, they can sound very strange and confusing. Another big reason is accents and dialects. English is spoken all over the world. Different countries and even different cities have their own accents. There is American English, British English, Australian English, and many others. Each accent sounds a little different. The pronunciation changes. The rhythm changes. Sometimes even the words are different. This can make listening harder, especially if you're used to only one type of English. But remember, this is normal. The more you listen, the better you will understand. Your ears will learn to recognize these differences, and English will start to feel more natural. When you hear a new accent for the first time, you might think, is this really English? It can sound very strange and unfamiliar. But don't worry, it is still English. It just sounds different from what you are used to. Accents change the way words sound, but the language is the same. With time and listening practice, your ears will slowly adjust, and the accent will become easier to understand. Now, let's talk about another reason listening is difficult. Number 2 is slang and informal language. Native speakers use slang all the time when they talk to friends, family, or coworkers. Slang is casual language. It is often fun, relaxed, and very common in daily life. For example, when someone says, "What's up?" they are not asking about the sky or the weather. They're simply saying hello or asking how you are. These kinds of expressions are used every day by native speakers, but they are usually not taught in schools or textbooks. That is why many learners feel confused. You learn correct English in books, but native speakers use real-life English. This difference can make conversations hard to follow at first. But don't worry. The more you listen, the more familiar these expressions will become. Number 3 is connected speech. Connected speech happens when words join together in a sentence. Native speakers do not stop between each word. They speak in one long flow. Instead of saying each word slowly and clearly, the words blend together. For example, I'm going to go might sound like I'm gonna go, or even shorter. When words connect like this, English can sound very fast and confusing. This is one of the biggest reasons learners feel lost when listening. But remember, this is completely normal. Everyone struggles with this at first. Your ears just need time to learn these patterns. With regular listening practice, your brain will begin to recognize these sounds, and understanding will become easier. It is also important to remember that native speakers do not speak perfectly. They speak fast. They make mistakes. They repeat themselves. They change sentences in the middle. They use slang and short forms. This is natural. Spoken English is not perfect, and it does not need to be. The goal is not perfection. The goal is understanding real English as it is spoken every day. Now let me share some helpful tips to make understanding native speakers easier. Tip number 1 is to listen to real conversations. If you want to understand native speakers, you must listen to real-life English. This means not only slow and clear learning recordings, but also natural conversations. You can listen to English podcasts, watch YouTube videos, TV shows, or movies. Choose topics you enjoy like sports, cooking, travel, news, fashion, or hobbies you love. When you enjoy the topic, listening becomes easier and more fun. Here is a very important tip. Do not try to understand every single word. This can make you feel stressed. Instead, focus on the main idea. Ask yourself, what are they talking about? Or what is the topic? If you miss a word, that is okay. Just keep listening. You can always pause, rewind, and listen again. With patience and practice, your listening skills will grow, and native English will slowly start to feel more natural and clear. The more you listen to English, the more you will understand. This is very important to remember. Listening is like training your brain. Over time, your brain begins to learn the rhythm of English. You start to notice how sentences sound, how words connect, and how people really speak. Little by little, English will feel more familiar, and listening will become easier and less stressful. Now, let's move to tip number 2. Tip 2 is to pay attention to accents. English sounds different in different places. For example, people from London sound different from people in New York. People from Australia sound different from people in Canada. These differences are called accents. At first, accents can be confusing and even scary. You might think, I don't understand anything. But this is normal. If you know that you will talk to people from a certain country, such as the USA or the UK, try to listen to that accent more often. This helps a lot. You can do this by watching movies, TV shows, or YouTube videos from that country. You can also listen to podcasts or interviews with native speakers from that place. The more you hear the accent, the easier it becomes. In the beginning, it may feel hard, but slowly your ears will get used to it. Practice makes a big difference. Now, let's talk about tip number 3. Tip 3 is to focus on keywords. When native speakers talk fast, you will not understand every word.
And that is okay.
You do not need to understand everything to understand the message. Here is a smart and helpful trick. Listen for the most important words in the sentence. In fast speech, native speakers often skip small words like is, are, the, or to. For example, instead of saying she is going to her home, they might say she going home. The sentence is shorter, but the meaning is still clear. So, do not worry about missing small words. Focus on the big words. Big words are usually nouns and verbs. Nouns are names of people, places, or things. Verbs are action words. These words carry the main meaning of the sentence. Even if you understand only 60% of the words, that is often enough to understand what the person is talking about. You do not need 100% understanding to follow a conversation. Tip number 4 is very similar, but it is worth repeating because it is so important. Do not try to understand every single word when you listen to English.